On why you should never own a Vizio TV. Here it is off, and here I hit the power button. See the Vizio logo, and you get this weird screen. You notice that it's like cropping half of it off for no reason, right? Pretty weird. It's also I'm using an Amazon 4K Fire Stick, and it's not on that. So let's grab the remote and let's simply push the input button. And you'll notice nothing happens. Let's push the menu button. Oh, you got it. So the menu button works, but the input button doesn't. Okay? So, and here's where it gets weird. So, we push the Voodoo button, nothing happens. But we push the Netflix button, something happens. It'll launch the Netflix app. We push, wait for it. Push the Amazon button, nothing happens. But the Netflix button worked. Push input, any of the other buttons. Again, input especially. But now we push menu again. Menu works. So, exit. So where do we go back to? We're sitting here after I pushed exit on a black screen. Look at the black screen. Nothing. Input still doesn't work. Menu works. But we're not in anything. Right? And this is the factory remote. I'm not blaming it on the Fire Stick at this point. So let's turn it off. Turn it back on again. And again, all I'm trying to do is just set the input, and we're back to this zoomed in, messed up screen. Again, input doesn't work, Voodoo doesn't work. Netflix button's the one button that works. Exit button works, but it exits back to the zoomed in screen, which you can't fix. There's no aspect ratio button or anything on the remote. You know, I can hit pick or CC. Like, I'm pushing like pretty much every button, and the only thing I can pretty much get it to do is enter a Netflix app. So how do you fix it? This is very hit and miss. Usually what I have to do, which sucks because it completely resists it, is unplug it and plug it back in. Then you have to wait patiently because it's got to do its boot up sequence where after you get power cycle, which is understandable. Then once the light goes dead, you can finally try and power it back on. And that fixed the zoom in on that America's Test Kitchen thing. But the input button still doesn't work. And as a result, I still can't get it to do that. So what else can you do? You can go back here and you can unplug. This is going to be hard with the video, so I apologize for that. Unplug the 4K Amazon stick. Hold on for 1 second. Sorry. Unplug the power. Plug the power back in. Plug that back in. And then you get a black screen like, oh, it's doing something. It's doing something, right? No. It almost did something. It detected that the input switched, but it didn't switch to it, and now you're still stuck back with input button not working, menu button not working, nothing works. You're stuck with this like built-in UI. And yes, off the fresh power hit, you can enter a different app that's not the Netflix app. But if you don't, the only button that actually works, I mean, like the only button that'll ever work is still the sorry, was it the Netflix button. Everything else doesn't work. And it's sad because look at this. It's a beautiful screen. I mean, for the money, and there's nothing wrong with the actual physical hardware. It's all software. So I can't, for the life of me, understand what's going wrong. And like I said, exit doesn't return to any sort of home menu. Input button doesn't return it. Menu button. Oh, you're kidding. Hitting the menu button brought back this. So, I mean, there's obviously something like fundamentally wrong, and I don't understand how this could possibly get through any sort of quality control. But that's basically what's I've been dealing with my Vizio TV. And again, this is only 6 to 8 month old TV, probably about 8 months at this point. So it's not like it's super old or anything like that. It's just they've been like, I guess, gimping it with firmware updates or something to try, but I don't know. This is just my personal experience with it. There's no amount of support, and literally just all I want to do is set it on my Fire Stick input, and you cannot do that. So hopefully this video explains the problems I've had, and encourages you to make sure you get a quality television. Pay a little bit more. Don't go with the generic stuff. Thank you.